Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the FRC Podcast number 3. You're joining myself and the lovely Jessica.
Hello.
Hello. You didn't know what to do there, did you? Jess, and again, those of you watching at home will notice that we have a guest. And we're not in the Parker Rose kitchen warehouse. We're with chef extraordinaire, Tom Griffiths.
Hello. How are you doing?
How are you?
I'm great.
Thank you for hosting us at the Restaurant Kits HQ.
Yeah, this is my second home. It's a wonderful warehouse as they come, and I'm really glad you're here. Thanks for travelling down.
Yeah, no, absolutely great to bring the podcast on the road. I feel this has been monumental.
I know, this is
episode 3, and we're
on the road.
We're literally in where are we in London? Is that Southwest?
Southwest in Wandsworth.
Very nice location, everyone.
Oh yeah, you're looking at about £2 million house.
Is it really?
Oh, mate, it's jokes. I walk past the estate agents most days and just go, "Dream on, son."
Yeah. So Tom, let's cut straight to it. Come on. So for anyone listening at home who doesn't know who you are, take us back to the beginning. What's your story? Where have you come from? What's your journey? Give us the overview.
I've been a chef for 15 years, and before that, I was actually in music PR. I was a publicist and worked in London. And to be honest, it was pretty bad pay. And I got into hospitality because that pays way better.
The hours are great as well.
The lifestyle's unreal. And I literally I was working 2 jobs doing that. And I moved back to my hometown of Brighton and started cooking professionally, worked for a few great people. And about 7 years ago, I decided I'd start Flank with 1,200 quid at a little pub, little poxy pub. I actually didn't even have a barbecue. I cooked in a fireplace. So that's all I could afford. Yeah, honestly, that's all I could afford. I had this fireplace, and I had the charcoal underneath, and I put, the grills out an oven, the grills where you put toast on. I took that out and just sat that on top with some breeze blocks and cooked in that.
What?
And yeah, it was amazing. We got some amazing response, but it was like the worst pub in Brighton. It's called the Royal Sovereign. Bless them, it wasn't, but it was just full of old men drinking. The ones that just sit there.
Yeah,
it's got a fruit machine in the corner, stains on the carpet, and still a condom machine in the toilet. It was one of those. And I did some amazing food, and consequently it grew and grew and grew. And then I decided to move to London with an amazing chef.
So you literally packed up where you started, left your loyal fans, and just moved it to London.
Well, it was a case.
Tough call.
It was a tough call, but we got moved to a bigger pub, and they really just wanted us to cook things that we didn't believe in. We used to put a burger on for lunch because it was used with waste. And I was on holiday for the first time in 2 years, and the owner, the manager of the pub, just went down Aldi and just bought a load of stuff because he just wanted to cook. And I just said, pull the plug on it, guys. We're not doing this. This is not who we are.
So you kind of had a fresh start then, really?
Yeah, exactly. And I wanted to go to London. I wanted to go back. I wanted to start something special there. And a guy called Nuno Mendes, who is the patron of Chiltern Firehouse, bougiest place in London, has a ton of other places. Had Taberna, he has a restaurant called Mal's now as well. Originally the Corner Room as well, just an unbelievable chef. And he invited me there, said, come into Spitalfields Market. No longer we have it anymore for various reasons, but it was a great start. We did some amazing, we used to do...
It's a fantastic location, isn't it?
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, the thing is, you could sit right round it, and we used to do cookery courses and do butchery. We used to have a blooming stag, just like butcher that up and show people how to cook on big green eggs and fire pits, and not only just cook great food, but also do lessons and really get people engaged in it.
So where did you learn all of that sort of like, because what you're talking about here is not just cooking, you're talking about an intricate skill set above and beyond just knocking out frozen burgers. I mean, where did this passion come from for your delicate nature of food?
My mum was a massive part of that. She's such, like, even when I talk, she'll ring me up now and go, Tom, I've got this idea. Can you tell me how to do it? And I'm like, yeah. But before that, she would use just experiment, and she never really used books, and she'd watch things and read something and change it around, and that's really where my passion started. She was never kind of fish fingers and chips woman and alpha bites and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. We all love an alpha bite. I always like getting the ketchup and put it in the smiley face and watch the eyes pop out. But she really wanted me to be, she really wanted me to kind of learn this a bit more and take it a bit more seriously, and I did. And then just working for people, I did a lot of stages, and the stages where you work for restaurants basically for free to learn. So I did a few of them, travelled around learning bits and bobs, and also doing collaborations with chefs and just learning through them. Like you you always learn. Like I still probably know about 5% of what there is to know in cooking. I swear to you. Like I don't think I know everything. I know what my little area of stuff is great, but I'll go into a kitchen tomorrow and be like, what on earth is that?
That's such a positive attitude for growth, though, isn't it?
Of course.
I think the moment you think you know everything, that's the moment you're done.
Yeah, there's also be humble about it, because there's the other day I was in a friend of mine's kitchen. There was a pot washer. Took a little bit of the metal scouter, right? Just not the whole thing. Just took a little bit off, put it to one side, and then was using that bit, and it was all coming off. And I was like,
What?
what has he done? And he also used a massive thing of like distilled vinegar and left it all in the pans, and it all just came off.
Yeah.
So he's not using chemicals or anything like that. And you're always learning. It doesn't matter if they're bottom of the pile or the exec patron chef, 3-star
exactly.
Michelin.
I've got a really funny image there of your friend taking you into his elaborate kitchen, and you like going, no, sorry, stop with that cooking. I was going to watch the KP.
Yeah.
Wow. And you like call him over like some kind of wildlife program. Have you seen this guy?
Slowly has.
Yes. The scouring pad, rubbing around the pan. It's hard to remove.
Do you know what I call a really good name for KPs is this, and it's a great name for them: underwater ceramic technicians. What a name!
That's
Good.
big. That's big.
A pay rise.
It is, isn't it? It's just like you just put that on your CV. It's like I did 2 years at the Grand Hotel as the underwater ceramic technician. Anyone goes
Scuba trained, are you? No.
That's it.
No.
Stainless steel watering engineer. Yeah, there's loads that we can keep going, but people can name more of them if they want.
So I suppose I think my next question would have been, so with Flank, what was your inspiration for that type of food? But you obviously said your mum, and has it been an evolution of a journey for you?
Massively. Like I really did it because I worked for someone I hated. They were horrible, and
They were pulling you down a path you didn't want to go down. You thought actually there's a better way forward.
It was more than that. It's not just about doing food that you don't like. It's to do with how you look after your staff and how you treat them.
Absolutely.
I really, really struggled with just the working environment, and leaving that, I decided that I wouldn't do that to my people. And there's some amazing people who worked for Flank over the years: Drew Snaith, Canada Penn. Those guys have been an absolute backbone to the company, and they've gone off and done their own things, and they're absolutely smashing it. And to see those guys part of a company and still friends to this day shows the person I am.
Yeah.
My bosses I'm not friends with them anymore, and I've got to ask myself that question: why am I not? And people say don't mix friends with work and things like that. I disagree. I think you can build a friendship in the industry, and because we're working together, we spend more time in a kitchen than we do our own friends and family. So you've got to get on with them. And I really, really made that like a big thing for me. To create an environment was the first thing. To create a really, really strong, great environment where people are supported. The next thing was to do food that I believed in. And the first thing was to look at the sustainable side of cooking rather than just buying anything down from Aldi or whatever. I went, right, let's get some really good produce, cook it sensibly and cook it humbly. Like Flank is one of the only places in London that is super filthy and super naughty and does all like the trashy food, but does it at such a high level where every single thing in that place I can tell you the traceability of. And not only that, is our plastic use is super low.
Incredible.
Yeah, we don't use dodgy packaging, like plastic packaging. That's just not who we are. So there is two sides of it. It's like we want to do something super accessible, but we don't want to be a place that's doing dots and foams and whatever. Why does the best restaurants in the world only ones that are sustainable? It's usually just them, So I wanted to actually start a movement in terms of street food people and the more like naughtiest sort of food people doing those sorts of things. And I think that's why I've done
There's
it.
an air of consciousness about your decision making.
100%.
Yeah. So guys, we actually did a review.
We did.
For the first time. I think everyone's been crying out for it at Flank. Gone down there today. Obviously, we tried the restaurant kits, the Ribbonator Mark 1. News on that, TBA. And then I had the real Ribbonator in Flank today, and my God, it was delicious.
I think you had an outer body experience.
I had a bodygasm. It was like quivering. We won't go into that. But you came over. Sorry, Jess. You came over, and obviously there's a sign on the wall, nose to tail. Mm-hmm. And you came over and explained that. And I don't think it really sunk in what you were actually saying. I don't think I've ever been anywhere that has that sort of mindset. Do you want to explain to everyone about that whole nose to tail concept and what you try and achieve with your beast to plate butchery and.
Yeah, so nose to tail cooking is whole animal cookery. There are a few places in London that really celebrate that. One being Black Axe Mango. Lee Tieran is one of the most incredible, coolest chefs there is. He uses everything and anything. And another place called St. John. St. John has been around for 35 years, set up by Fergus Henderson. Fergus Henderson is the god of nose to tail cookery. I can guarantee any chef in London would say to it, that guy is someone they look to, and they still go to his books and look through for inspiration. The difference between them and what I do is I wanted to make things a lot more accessible. And the Ribbonator is a whole pig, basically smoked. So the heads, the collar, the tongue, the ears. It's got the trotters in it, which are the base of the hooves, which has got the fat, and that gives the gelatine. So if you've ever had a Percy pig, the normal ones, that has gelatine in it. And
I thought it came from horses.
But it's gelatine. Gelatine is fat, and fat gives what sweets are. Any sweet you've had, Haribo, the lot, that is from the top, but it's just been processed in a different way.
Yeah.
We do it in a very honest, humble way, which is not going through factories and God knows what. We just get the pig, we smoke it, we braise it, we pick it down. And the reason why we make it accessible is because we've had kids come in and go, I want to try the Ribbonator. They eat it, they go, this is amazing. As soon as you tell them what's in it, they're like, oh, they have a meltdown. But the thing is, you can make any food accessible. It's about how you present it. If we started saying, oh, it's an ear and pig's trotter sandwich, people are going to be like, not so sure about that.
I'm not feeding the dog.
Call it the Ribbinator. Fucking want it. You know what I mean?
So true.
Can we just talk? I've got two questions that jumped at me there. How many Ribbonators would you get out of a pig? Roughly. About 1,500. Wow.
Oh, blimey.
Yeah, loads of Ribbonators.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you're looking
1,500.
Yeah, you'll get a good pig will weigh about 400 kilos.
And you literally use everything.
Everything.
So you're
no waste on it. Well, the only other thing is like maybe you won't get the tail. Obviously, bones you can't chuck them in. And skin, and some of the skin can't go in. So top end of the skin, just the back skin, can't use, but the belly you can. It gets quite soft. Sorry, I'm knocking this. Yeah, it all goes in. So that process can work really well. We don't put in innards like stomach lining or like the tripe and things like that. But we do put in liver, kidney. Heart won't go in. It's a little bit funny on a pig. And obviously it's winkle. That won't go in there either. It's
That's a shame.
You
You could put the winkle in just a one
dip in
Ribbonator.
it. Yeah.
Could be called the Winklinator.
That's great.
The slogan in there: "Spit or swallow."
Oh no!
Oh my god.
So far, it's gone.
Cheese.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
it's gone.
Cue the music.
Next question.
No, I found it so interesting, and obviously, let's just talk about the Ribbonator for fuck's sake. Let's get onto it. Whilst it's on the tip of our tongue, that is a masterpiece. Now, inspiration for that?
I was in lockdown and I was a little bit wasted.
Yeah.
And I was watching Terminator because I love Terminator.
Yeah.
I was watching it. I was just watching it. And I was on, when you're on just delivery, you're just searching. It's just like, it's a bit like being on Pornhub. You're just trying to find the right one. You're just going through, no, that's not good enough.
No.
And I was looking at McDonald's and I went, James, our videographer, is laughing his head off at this. And I was looking at it, and I was watching Terminator, and I was looking at Deliveroo, and I said to myself, looking at the McDonald's, I went, I really want a Ribbonator, because I was thinking about McRib.
Yeah.
Because I was watching Terminator, because I'm dyslexic, my brain went ribs and Terminator. I went Ribbonator, and then I went, I need to make this, and I got so excited. I ordered stuff. I ordered things from the supplier that night, and they sent it to my house, and I started developing the Ribbonator. And there we have it. And we made it. We've used words from exact words they used in the Terminator film, using the T1000 crispy onions and all those things. Even the kind of James worked on the video as well. We had a great voiceover by a guy called Rob Shaw. He's amazing.
It was like, anyone that hasn't seen it, it was like super retro.
Yeah.
Kind of,
massively.
it was like funky music.
Exactly, and then using words like the exoskeleton. That's the same thing as the Terminator. So it was using that, and we may as well announce as well whilst we're here. We are going to be doing a second one.
No way.
Which will be called Ribbonator 2 Crunchment Day.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely mega, and it's going to be. I want it, and I can guarantee it will be better than Ribbonator 1.
Wow.
How are you going to do that? You scored the Ribbonator a 10.
Well, you
Look,
just
well,
keep
honest,
giving
gonna have to go
it sounds
to-
like a new product. What, can you say what the differences are?
It's beef. It's not pork.
Oh, there we go then. So,
Oh.
there we go, Jess. To me, that's a different product.
So our halal friends will be able to get on it as well, which will be exciting. And it's super delicious. It's got a little bit more spice in this one. Playing around with the bun, but it's going to be the same format. It's going to be still that long, luscious thing.
I did love the Ribbonator because a lot of times with our reviews, Tom, we go to various towns or cities that obviously we're watched all over the country now, even internationally. And a lot of people can't or won't be able to get to that restaurant to try that particular food. Restaurant kits and that Ribbonator allowed people to go, stuff it, I'm going to make the order. I know a few of my friends made the order and it actually gave them something to do at home. I think, well, maybe we could talk about this now, restaurant kits. Isn't it a nice concept that you can have that quality of food in your house for a date night, a dinner party, and actually make dining at that level fun?
Oh, massively. Like restaurant kits was set up really as and Ed, our CEO, Andy and Callum as well, partners. We sort of did it because we needed something to do. We're all kind of creative people. And we're sort of sitting out and going, and also we wanted to create another revenue stream because all our restaurants were shut in lockdown. And we're like, what do we do? And it started doing. We started knocking out burgers. We started doing the Ribbonator and started doing these things. And we started realizing, oh my word, like anyone and everyone can get hold of this. So you got to remember, like Deliveroo is only available in some cities, right? Can you get Deliveroo in St Ives?
There's like one restaurant on it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very
exactly.
near, yeah.
For restaurant kits, you can be anywhere in the country, bar like the Highlands of Scotland is a bit difficult, but pretty much anywhere we can get a kit out to you, and you can make it to whenever you want. It's not just going to turn up. We all ordered a pizza on Deliveroo, and it comes and it looks like something out of the episode of Casualty. It's just smashed into one side, and you want to give your piece to CPR. You're just like, yeah, and it just looks so horrendous. And I was like, we can't keep doing. We can't allow these people just get away with this. They charge a fortune for it as well. So we're a fair price, I think. And you can make it when you want, and it comes beautifully packaged. You get all this amazing merch with it as well, and you're basically celebrating the best restaurants in the UK.
So now you're doing collaborations with. So effectively, you've set up this warehouse with your kitchen here and fulfillment facility. Top chefs, top concepts can come to you guys and say, "Listen, I'm thinking about putting this together."
Of course, yeah.
And you'll make the whole thing from start to finish.
Exactly.
Under their guidance, is that how it works?
So yes, exactly. So instead of there's other companies that have done it, and I'll explain kind of why we've done this in lockdown. I made the call that a lot of these restaurants will open their doors again, and there were loads of people doing like kitchen kits and food kits and food parcels. Everyone was doing it, and I realised
They had to, didn't they, to get by?
Of course. And as soon as they reopened their restaurants, right? As soon as they reopened, I knew that they had to focus on cooking for their customers again, back into their restaurants, to their floor staff or their takeaways or people in their restaurant. They wouldn't be able to carry on with this.
Exactly.
So we made the call that we would do everything for them. So essentially what we are is we're licensing. We're basically licensing. So you'll give us our recipe, we'll develop it with you. You'll be like, okay, that's amazing. We'll give you a cut of the commission of the box, and you don't have to do anything. You could be sat in your pants doing something. Make it as you will, and we
Playing with your kit.
Yeah, playing with your kit, and we will literally, and we will just give you the commission of that. You just got to do the socials, help with the marketing, and whatever, and you'll make another form of income from it. And it's amazing because there's people out there.
Sounds like a win-win partnership, like these sort of joint ventures in this modern day, particularly with any sort of restaurants or chefs, or not to say, I'm going to say the word influencer loosely, with some kind of reach. And allow them to turn their reach into revenue. You guys do the legwork, the collaboration. That both parties are happy. It sounds like a match made in heaven.
Oh, it's amazing, and we're working with some absolute legends. It's like we've got Adam Hanling. He's one of the best,
some like big
best
names.
restaurants, and he has just unbelievable. We've worked with PitQ, one of the old school barbecue guys. We've got Callum Franklin, Pie Master, was recently on MasterChef. He's doing our pies. And then we've also started getting into experience-based stuff. Now, this is where it gets really mental and like bonkers. Because
Let's go.
So we've decided we need to start creating things that don't exist. And I think we like restaurants, we can go to them and stuff, but imagine doing stuff that's you've never seen before. So last month we released our first ever immersive kit with Game of Thrones, which was HBO and Warner.
Wow.
Yeah, and you get all this, you get parts of the kit, and you get
Dragons.
Yeah, it sort of literally explodes out, and it's like you're there, and it's just. Oh, yeah, it's nuts.
That noise. Targaryen love juice.
It's just bonkers. And so that's our first ever concept doing that. Going from that, we're going to be doing loads of stuff with HBO
That
and
opens
Warner.
so many doors, doesn't it?
Yeah, we want to be completely immersive. Imagine being able to watch a series on Netflix or Amazon, and you're watching a chef prepare his thing, doing like, I don't know, a series of chef's tale, whatever it could be. And you're literally watching as you're eating his kit at the same time.
Wow.
It's doing things that we've never seen before. And this is the taking, how far can we take
interactive,
like it's never been done.
experience-based food.
Doing those things, and we can do that across the board. Same with festivals. Say you've got Meatopia coming up, we can do like a pre-call of that, or Wingfest, or whatever it is. There are things we can do that haven't been done, and I think not only that is looking overseas. So we could do licensing deal with In-N-Out Burger, for instance, and bring In-N-Out Burger to this country. We don't actually have to open the site.
Amazing,
you get the box, you get the little hat, you get all this sort of stuff. People could lose their bloody minds. They'll be like, oh my God, I got In-N-Out Burger.
I suppose you position your kits too, like, so anyone, you don't have to have a sous vide or a fryer, for example. You're making everything that's completely accessible to average Joe at home with the basic stuff they've got in their kitchen. Is that right?
Yes. So we
Don't need any
much,
fancy kit or any.
No, God no. Other than just absolute swagger when you're cooking.
Oh,
that's the number one rule. But we don't. When we started, we were kind of like we didn't really know what we were doing. So we did the bird kits. Then we're like, well, let's do more. So we were actually just given a carrot and an onion, and we realised that some people might only have a spoon in their house. Honestly, it's that bad. So we really had to adapt. Now we pretty much do everything. You get it. So you might have to like butter a piece of bread or toss something in a pan or something, but really, like, even when it comes to our pies and sauces, it's all pretty much done.
Idiot proof.
Yeah, it's like the best. It's not. We don't call it a ready meal. So you're not popping holes in it and chuck it in the microwave. It's not a Rustler's. Have you had a Rustler's
Shout out
before?
to Rustlers.
Shout out. Yeah, have you had a Rustler's
Yes,
before?
dreadful.
We did
It
one in lockdown, didn't we?
We did one,
a
yeah. It was
review.
repulsive, yeah.
I think Rustler's, and have you had a Frey and Ben toast pie before?
Yeah. So you use your emphasis is nose to tail.
Yeah.
I think Rustlers is eyelids and arseholes.
Yeah, that is it.
That's it.
Do you know
Yeah.
those bits you chucked out the pig?
Yeah.
That's what they put in.
They're the ones buying the penises.
Yeah.
They're the ones buying the tails.
That's it. They're taking them on. I had one. I did when we did the launch of the Ribbonator, I was doing a lot of like posts about it, and I went, don't buy a Rustler's, and I went into a supermarket and got one and hid it. Like, videoed me hiding these things.
Yeah.
I guarantee if it's still there, it's perfectly fine.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
they last for years.
You know,
Don't they?
the worst thing about them is because you have to microwave them, they go like steamed, and it's like this gammy. You know, if you steam bread, it goes gammy and wet and like cloggy. Cloggy,
man.
is that even a word? There we go.
Cloggy.
Claggy.
Clogging.
Clogging. It clogs. It clogs in your
Clogger.
mouth.
It's a clogger. You couldn't even flush that down at all. You'd have to call out
no.
Thames
Negative
water.
Ghost Rider.
Oh,
We've got a
God.
clogger. We have a clogger.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's dreadful.
But
We
yes,
actually got a Frey bento pie and he wouldn't review it. I actually
Say again?
We got one of those pies and you actually wouldn't review it.
I think you need to.
So, Tom, lockdown, obviously we couldn't travel, so our reviewing game really had to adapt.
Scraping the
And
barrel.
we were like going to the shop and going, oh, Co-op have got a Stone Bit Pizza. And then it would like did all of them. And then we were like, well, Jess would come home with a few things. And I've got a Frey Bentos pie. I'm like, Jess, I'm really going to struggle to position this as some kind of food review we can actually like put out.
I think you should start doing like mystery boxes. I think your viewers should send in to like a PO box number. I don't know if we even do that anymore.
We've got PO box.
Oh, you've got to do it. Just send in like the most random stuff, and then you've got to cook it and eat it.
Oh, God, they'd send
Could
us.
you imagine? They'd be sending in anthrax.
Yeah, they would.
We've got anthrax on toast. Thank you.
But there are some.
Ooh.
I've been to some. I've seen some bad things.
Yeah.
You go into some mini marts. You go in. They do have some. I'm like, where did you get that from? Where did you? I got to say,
Who supplied you with this?
one thing I cannot stand is sausages and beans. All those breakfasts in a tin. What on earth are they?
Oh.
How did they get the egg in there?
But if, do you know,
No.
if Well, the worst one is the whole roast chicken in a can.
Oh.
It comes out like a.
Where-
It comes
where's
out
that?
like
Where
a
do we
fetus.
see that?
So maybe we can put it on the screen now. If you're watching in your car, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see this, but you can actually buy. It's quite a large tin. It looks like a sort of tin that an extra large dog would eat, and inside it is an actual cooked chicken. It's like full of gelatin. You take the lid off, pour it out, and I think you maybe
It's
have
like, in The Matrix, when he gets, he
Yes.
unplugs and he slides out of the thing and he's in guns.
Oh, God.
Or the bit, in
Neo's,
Ghostbusters when he gets covered in the guns.
In the
he's laying there.
ectoplasm.
It is like that. It is horrendous.
do you think anyone's ever eaten one of those and actually survived?
I'm sure. Yeah, well, 100% people survive. People like that are like people. I can't say because your viewers are going to go mental when I start name dropping bad things. But there are certain people that can drink a can of Special Brew, eat that, and turn superhuman.
Yeah.
They would go on to Jeremy Kyle and smash it.
Those factories where they make those, I think that's probably where COVID 20 is going to break out. Don't you think?
God.
They'll be testing on whole can chickens. What is it even called?
Oh my God.
Chicken in a can.
I think we
Is
should
it
buy
called
one.
that? We
Maybe
should have
that's,
brought a
maybe that's
goodie
an idea
bag.
for your next.
James, can you go to the shop and get one? We want to do a cook-off now. Food Review Club, chicken in a can.
Who dies first?
I bet you can make it nice though.
Make it. Do you reckon I can make it? I reckon I could actually.
You could.
That's a
of course you
feature.
could.
That's a feature.
It's. I think it was Michael McIntyre that did one of his shows. He got Michael Pierre White and Michelle Roux Jr. to use basically raided their fridge in their own house, and then recooked it for them in the restaurant, and they were eating it, going, "Oh my God, it's really good!" And it's their own food; they're eating it. It's amazing. I think we could do that. I reckon we could go and buy a Frey Bento's pie and bits and bobs.
Yeah.
and
It's
make
amazing
it
what
see
you
if
can do to
people buy
people's.
it.
It's amazing what you can do to people's palates if you dress something up a little bit differently and serve
Yeah.
it with a little bit of je ne sais quoi.
They call it rolling a shit in glitter.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Just going back to your sausage and a tin of beans thing, we briefly had this debate on the way here. I genuinely think that some foods, the better quality you go, the worse it gets, and this only applies to a few things. For me,
I agree.
sausages, I really enjoy a good sausage. Don't get me wrong, but there's sometimes a feeling if you want a sausage sarnie in the morning, where you said you don't want sausage in a sourdough bacon roll.
Absolutely not.
Do you understand me? There's like sometimes you just want a wall sausage like that when you think about sausage roll.
It's like when it comes to like certain things, like if someone said, "Oh, I've made my own ketchup," you're like,
Nah.
"Where's my Heinz?
Yeah.
You give me my Heinz."
It's kind of the same thing.
But then there's the budget stuff. You go to some chicken shops, they have
Yeah.
that kind of vinegary, like ectoplasm ketchup. That
It's
really,
like a synthetic.
oh, that's just no, because it can go
like
too
fluorescent
far.
red.
You can
Yeah.
go too far.
Yeah.
So there is that middle ground. But I do like when it comes to sausage sandwich or bacon sandwich. Don't give me sourdough. Give me a lovely Kingsmill or what's the Warburton's?
Yes.
Warburton's toasted.
Like a farmhouse.
Who do you
loaf.
think is winning the bread game right now? Because I'm a bread lover, and one week I'm Warburton's, then I'll have a loaf of Kingsmill, and I think, geez, I think they're coming back. I think for me, Warburton's, I want to say it now, I want to pin my flag to the mast. I think Warburton's edge it for me slightly.
Yeah.
Have you had the Warburton's Tiger Loaf?
Oh my
very
God!
good.
Yeah.
It is. That's
an electric,
with Lurpak.
Oh,
Bits of Lurpak.
salted Lurpak.
Oh my days! It is
Stop.
just, and I think
You feeling okay,
bread
Jess?
porn.
I know
We,
you can go.
we really appreciate as a couple. We really appreciate bread and butter as well.
Yeah.
It's one thing. Like you can't skimp and save on that sort of stuff. Don't go shit.
Sorry.
You're right. Don't go to the crap. The worst of the bread. Yeah.
Yeah. No. None of that. What about? Okay, we're going to. What do you think a burger should be served in? Brioche, demi brioche, sub roll, floured seeded bun. What do you like?
I think it really depends. I think there's a time and place for all of them. With a burger, I love it has to stand up to the juices and the sauce for me, which is important. So if we've been to a few places where the bottom half of the bun just completely capitulates in your hand, it's not cut out for the job.
No.
It might taste nice. You say, "Oh, this is a good bun." It's not fit for purpose. But some places, depending if it's how juicy like a Five Guys, it's quite a dry burger. It's not particularly messy. Your burger today was juicy. There's sauce running all over it. If you had a bun that wasn't up to it, it'd fall to pieces in your hands. But your bun was firm. It was steady.
Yeah, you got like a hybrid bun, haven't you?
What is that?
Hybrid.
Yeah.
It is a demi brioche, but it's not made with butter. And it's not got any egg in it either.
But super soft, but big enough and bulky enough to carry the weight of the.
It's got no egg in it.
No egg in it. Only on the top, on the
wash.
glaze. But it's like a double proof. And yeah,
They were big buns.
Yeah, really.
bun.
But
Got-
when
you
you
got
steam
great
them,
buns.
when you give that little bit of steam, so put water on them when we're kind of cooking them, we flip them over, put the cheese on, and then when you steam them, you obviously cloche them, and that makes them really squidgy on the top, but a bit firm on the bottom. But you got to toast both sides, and people that don't toast both sides,
Amateur hour.
get out, get out. Pack your stuff up and leave.
Pack your shit up and fuck off.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, I'm big. So one of the things because obviously you're obviously doing the podcast on me, but was so excited to have you here.
Bring the questions on.
I
Come
know.
on.
I'm like, and I think any all viewers always want to, because I see the comments, I see all your comments, and people say stuff, and you get about because you have a huge following, and you can't answer everyone. But one of the things is like, what's in terms of like going to all these places and seeing all these things, what is the worst thing you've ever had? And like, and has it gone live, or is it still in the bag?
We've had quite a few, haven't we, Jess?
Yeah, like bad takeaways.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a couple we haven't put out, have we?
Yeah, no.
Why?
It's
we have to
make
police.
a
Yeah.
it got to Tom, the videos at the beginning started getting some pretty big traction. So straight away we knew we had an air of responsibility about our work, you know, like
sure.
we could potentially have a bad takeaway, but it could be a one-off, and that review could be catastrophic for.
That's what I mean.
So I'm not just willy-nilly, you know, going out there and bashing people. We've always tried to look for the silver. What am I trying to say? Trying to look for the positives.
Exactly.
Anywhere we go.
Yeah.
So say something was cheap and not particularly expensive, I'd say it was high value or something. You know, like, we'll always try. Some of the bad ones we've had though, you think to yourself, if we put this out, it could really switch their lights off.
Definitely.
They've got bills to pay. They've got families, and they might have just had a bad day. So I'm not going to,
Exactly.
It's a really tough call.
I think with having, you know, the industry as it is at the minute, even like some of the biggest journalists in the country have now said they just won't put the review out, and I think it's an honourable thing to do, and I think it's really
tough though, isn't it? Because if you only put out the good stuff, then how can you build a?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a really difficult place to be. Like we did one in Hunstanton, and this is where I will say if I feel it's particularly misleading, overpriced, or I'm happy to go down that road, but I won't be personal about them or anything like that. We did one of the fish and chip shop. I'm not waiting to say the name.
It was on. I can't remember what it's called, but it was on the.
It was on the main thing.
The promenade bit.
It was Tom. I don't know what to say. It was crap. It was a tiny portion, really overpriced. They didn't do it, and the guy that trained them there messaged me and said, "Yeah, it looked terrible. I can't believe that's what they're doing." And I think they deserved it. And actually, it probably should have been It really wasn't that bad, was it? I think it was like a mid-7 or something. And I wasn't particularly. It could have been better, sort of thing.
Sure.
But I gave them loads of sort of feedback on it, and they should have spun it around and maybe invited me back. Instead, they chose to be quite send a lot of aggressive emails.
And I agree. I think people need to have points. Like we have in this country, we have more. Well, in London, we have more restaurants than there is anything else in terms of bars, in terms of convenience stores. There are more restaurants collectively than anything. Now, in the mid-90s, there was a massive reshuffle of restaurants. It really had a massive change because there was the first recession, and it really did change things. Now, with COVID happening, I personally feel, as someone who's trying to look after my staff, want to pay them more, and with rents and rates and all those things going up, I really do feel that there is a reshuffle happening, and the people that don't give a monkeys about the product they put out and don't give a monkeys about their staff and just see food being a cash cow for everyone. There are some conglomerates.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, it's difficult because I do see the some burger shops or some restaurant or whatever it is. I'm not going to name names on it, but I do see them and I'm just going, you do not care what you put out. You just see this as making money and exploiting people.
That's really important to us as well. And we've been to so many takeaways now, Tom, that I can see it straight away. You know, like maybe at the beginning said, "Who is this guy?" I've got no credibility, but now we've probably touched 1,000.
It's nuts.
Reviews, and there's not many people in the country that have been to that amount of takeaways. So we do have a
that was a good thing.
we do have a sort of a finger on the pulse of what's normal. Like when I try your food today, it's just not fucking normal. It's just like so far above and beyond what other people are putting out. I'm not afraid to give it the score I've given today. I'll say it without even quivering when I say it because it's just not normal. And then you go to someone else and you think, I'm not even fucking trying. This is crap.
Sure.
And then that's where I don't mind, But it is tough. Yeah, it is really tough because we're all about trying to uncover the hidden gems and is foodie hotspots, so we say. But
Well, that's one thing I like.
We want to review all types of food, and it's however it comes, whatever shapes and sizes, whatever price point. That's what, you know.
Well, one of my favourite places, and this is another thing, is like when you look at like Hot Dinners website, or you look at Code App and all these different, they're always talking about the next hottest thing, so you've got a PR agency behind them, okay? But then there's the unsung heroes, right? There's these places that are off the beaten track, nobody knows about, that are legendary. Now, there's a place in Camberwell.
They're the best, aren't they, though?
Oh, my God. There's
These like secrets. You have to know the code word to be...
Yeah. There's a little door and it's like that. You go down. And one of my favourite places in London is a place in Camberwell. And James, our wonderful videographer, James Moore over there. Shout out to James. Hello, mate.
James.
We also share the love of this place, and it's called Silk Road, right?
Oof.
Now...
Good name.
Oof.
It's great name. The staff in there are just like don't give a shit.
So this
anyone.
is sorry, Tom. This is like this is exclusive.
Yeah, this is exclusive.
Is this like a genuine? We've not been there every day. Don't know anything about this. This is a genuine. Get your if you listen at home, if you drive in, pull over, open the notes on your phone. If you've got an Apple product, it's the notes. I don't know if you've got Samsung, I don't know what you're going to be putting on, but open this down and write this down. What Tom's about to say.
Get it in. So Silk Road is it's a northern Chinese restaurant that does hand-pulled noodles. So hand-pulled noodle is where you stretch it out and it gets all elasticated, and they're really, really thick, and it's quite spicy. It's got Szechuan in there, but they use a little bit of offal in the food. But they use they smoke ducks in there, and they cook pig's heads and shred them, and do these mad dumplings, and it costs nothing. You'll go in there with a tenner and come out with change. It is mental.
Wow.
And they
Is it big? What is it like?
No, it's tiny little place with like a few tables, isn't it, Jane? It's just got. Yeah, it's just got these, but it's always packed. There's a queue around the corner, and nobody else really like. It's kind of in the know. Like you've been Silk Road there. People go, yeah, and you know they know about food. If someone goes up in Silk Road, you go, right, they're.
I'm sitting. I feel out of the loop now.
I know we haven't been.
We're not Londoners though. We're not Londoners. We have a finger off the pulse around here.
Yeah, well, you're not from London. It's fine. If I said to you what your end, you'll give me the best recommendations.
Chicken
ever.
licking and St Ives. Bosh.
Is it?
Spicy potatoes after 10 pints. Best thing ever.
Is it? Is that the one?
No.
No.
Do you know what? What is one of your? Do you have any? Because I have a hack, right? I have one of my favourite hacks. No, and this is one of the most flank dishes come from me being wasted, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I just go, I'm going to make that. And one of my favourite things to do on a night out is not go to a kebab shop, and I'll tell you why. Right? I love a kebab, but I find the wraps always a letdown.
Okay.
Always, right?
Yep. Okay.
So, right, go and get a naan bread, right, and then go in the kebab shop with it. Change your life forever.
So you go
Really?
to. Hang on,
Oh my
let's break this
God.
down. So you go to. So you're multi-vending your own.
Oh yeah. But they don't mind if it's your mate. It's the one. He's the one who goes. Yes, he knows who you are.
Where do you get your naan from? Just like
the one opposite. So the one opposite. When I used to live in Brighton, Preston Street, right? There was a kebab shop next door to the Indian, right?
Yeah.
And they kind of knew each other. They knew me, right? Go in because I had the pub around the corner. I used to go and pissed. And I'd pick up the like naan, just plain naan, or get a garlic naan. Never do it with a peshwari naan because you'll be nuts. Who does that?
No, that's
It's just
overload. Garlic
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 naan,
naan, right? Get that right, fresh big one. Then go into the kebab house. They go, yep, no worries, and they just load it up.
Yeah.
It will change your life forever. It's one of
so
the
much
best
better.
hacks. Oh,
Yeah.
and you can do that with anything. You can have. You got barbecue round, yeah? Don't get the buns. Just go on to Deliveroo, order 10 naan breads, and then chuck it all in there.
Yeah.
Naan breads are literally the best thing to wrap things in.
Because you have it cooked in the tandoor, it gives you the most intense,
it's great.
sort
It's
of
got
crispy
crust,
crunch,
yes.
and then that bark on the outside with fluffy
Amazing.
bread, fast
It is
cooked.
the one. Like you get tortilla
Those
wraps
blister
and things like that.
points as well when you crunch into it and it breaks
It's
in your
the
mouth.
best. Yeah, it's the one.
Wow, there you go, guys. That's Tom's tips.
Tom's tips. Or go just to start with this. Well, next time you order an Indian, order the tandoor chicken pieces. Get a bit of mint yogurt, bit of mango chutney, bit of lettuce. Wrap it up. You can do it from the same place, and you go from there. Then you start building more.
Okay, get confidence up.
Exactly, and then start building it. But naan bread is one of my favourite hacks. Now I want to ask you. Go ahead. Tell me some of the hacks you've got.
Similar to yours. I love mixing the chili sauce and a garlic. Sorry, the mint dip. Right, is it Loretta?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
With the chili as well. That sauce together. You dip one, dip the other. Well, that's nice together. Put it together.
Massive.
Put it
It's
in.
One. I got to say though, with Indian restaurants, why do they all have the same dessert menu? You know that plastic penguin?
Do they still do them? Do they still do them?
Yeah, and
They do. Well,
it
Like
is.
coconuts filled with like
It is.
orange
They
ice
have-
cream.
I swear they go all to the same person.
Yeah,
It's
they
the
do,
dessert
yeah.
man comes around in a truck trying to buy the desserts.
All
But
frozen goods.
It's.
I absolutely love. I think Chinese and Indian cuisine for me is right up there for my palate.
Oh,
I
me too.
love the
It's
diversity
one.
of.
Thai food's mine.
Oh, isn't it all
Ooh,
amazing?
yeah.
though?
Thai
Like, great.
food, oh man, there's a place called the Begging Bowl in Peckham. Fuck me, like I'd say the Begging Bowl. Been smoking goat?
No.
Okay, chicken wings from there, blow your mind.
Yeah.
Chicken wings from there. I can't say. Yeah, James knows. James knows everything. You know, see,
He does.
he's the man.
James is loving it.
Smoking goat wings, unbelievable. There's another place called Somsa that a great chef, my mate John, he was there for years, and he started his own thing called Anglo Thai, and they just understand flavour. Not like, because you get the same sort of like green curry, whatever, but they've just taken it to that next level.
But like with any takeaways and sort of fast food, I think a lot of the UK were brought up on their Friday and Saturday night will be going to the local Chinese or the local Indian. And I'm not saying they're all terrible because a lot of them are great, but there's a sub level of like elite Chinese and Indians as well. Like I didn't experience any of these, did we, Jess? We've been to a few of these places now, and it's like, wow, I thought my entire fucking adult life that was what a takeaway was from an Indian or a Chinese, and now we've gone to some of these other places. Like, man, the game has changed.
it has, and
The game has changed.
I think there's that backbone of like Cantonese cooking and Indian cooking, but that is still like there's something so humble about it, and they're the bread and butter to people's lives.
Fast cooking.
Well, I'll take John from Dumpling Shack, right? So I believe his parents had Chinese takeaways growing up, and that's his heritage, his background, and the reason why I assume he cooks today. And these places are the backbone to community. They're integral. They haven't changed much in terms of what they do, and they stick to what they do best. And when it's done right, and I'm telling you, when it's done right, when you have a portion of fried rice done right, or you have I don't know, anything.
It's electric, isn't it?
It
There's
is
so much.
unbelievable, and you just like, and these people have been in these kitchens. Like you look at the work ethic between from different nationalities,
Yes.
the work ethic they put in. I cannot say anything. They work so hard. And it runs through the family, and it's unbelievable to see. And I take my hat off to them. I look at some, us Brits. Unfortunately, some of us are pretty lazy, and these, the backbone to these people. They came over. A lot of them came over here with nothing, and saw a gap in the market with food.
Yeah.
And I smashed it, and still to this day smash it. And yeah, big shout out to those guys.
We're probably at the stage now we're at generational kitchens, and some of these places are now like 2 or 3 generations deep, and it's just like they've built such a legacy in their communities, haven't they?
Oh, it's
Something-
madness.
They're like,
It's
they're
amazing.
actually like icons.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And I hope the kind of the industry of the kind of elitist and I guess to a degree like this sort of gentrification that's happened with like the likes of Dishoom and they're amazing, and they're big chains, and you've got hackers and stuff like that, and they are beautiful in what they've done and whatever, but I don't think they're ever going to crush the humble beginnings of backbone old school kind of cooking.
Well, it's not quite what you're saying, but very similar. We went out to Nusret, as you probably saw.
Yes.
And then after, it's kind of had a bit of a moment. It was in the rain. We went to the Halal guys for a review. We've a bit of a nightmare. We'll just backtrack a little bit. We went there about 2 weeks ago did a review there. The file corrupted, audio corrupted, so we had to go back.
Oh, no.
So we're in town. We obviously went for a nice, expensive lunch at Nusret. I went to Halal guys, and after the review, I just was, bearing in mind I already had a big fucking lunch, just eating this food in the rain out of a metal tin. I had my rice, my beef, my chicken, the hot sauce, the white sauce, the veg, all on top. And I was sitting there and going, this is fucking £8. I was just like,
How on earth? Yeah,
I was like, no,
yeah.
but I was just like, this is. I was like, this is me.
mega
I
right.
loved
It's
it. It's
this one.
just great. It's just great. And I think that's what you're touching on there. That there's an element of ease and
It's just humble. It's
just humble. That's a great word. Yeah.
They're just doing what
just
they
hits the
believe in
spot,
is the
doesn't it?
one. Yeah. And if I ever have the opportunity to go to, be invited to these people's houses and have their food in their home kitchen, is an honour. I've had it a few times in my life, and It's just fantastic because I'm telling you now, they don't know what turkey dinosaurs are. They have no idea what they are.
What about turkey Twizzlers?
No, of course. But what I wanted, you did say you just touched on Nusrat. What was that like?
I think it was good. The full review will explain all, but I fuck it. This will probably
It's already going to be out.
Will this be out?
It's already out already.
All right, I can talk about it. There we go. I
already.
can talk about it. Okay. I left Tom confused because I didn't really know what happened. I was 980
Feels like
pounds
he's just been touched up by
out of pocket, but it was the same. It was.
We were close.
Oh gosh.
He's very hands-on.
Is he?
The whole experience is very hands-on. They're very in
like
your
me-
food.
He's tight. I saw a picture of him with you, and you're big, but you're like me, big. You're a big bloke, and he looks like a.
It's like a jockey,
Actually, you said you were like, "Do you want to go and have a picture of him?" I was like, "No," because I look like a giant next to him.
It was a strange
He's a small
experience, wasn't it? It
person.
was strange.
It was something.
Out of
I'm
body.
glad we did,
Yeah.
but
Look,
Won't be
I haven't been
rushing back there.
particularly nice. I've been a bit controversial, shall we say, about
Okay.
it's my job to review this stuff and to have an opinion on the matter. It came out that he was opened his restaurant, and then the first thing we all see is a receipt for the best part of $2.5 grand. You know, have you seen that?
Yeah, I saw that went mental.
With
That went-
like £11 Red Bulls and
Yeah.
just crazy stuff, £10 Cokes and stuff. And I think
thing
everyone.
is, you go to anywhere in Knightsbridge. I've got to say, I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
anyone watching this, it's in Knightsbridge. His rent
Exactly,
is going to
yeah.
be
Yeah.
like close to $1 million a year, I reckon. Don't get me wrong. If you put that, if that restaurant was in Hull, for instance,
Yeah.
I would be a little bit like,
Could you
come on.
could you imagine the people of Hull?
oh
Yeah.
goodness,
That would be firebombed in about 10 minutes.
Just-
it'd be
they wouldn't-
empty. It'd be empty.
But they wouldn't charge those prices, and then he's
They wouldn't need to,
positioned
though,
him-
would they?
No, they wouldn't need to. But he's positioned himself in that area,
Exactly.
knowing that he can do that. And
Exactly.
and I get it. Don't get me wrong. I would absolutely crucify someone for charging over the price of what something costs.
Yeah.
But with the industry, with the kind of climate we're in, like food does need to go up, and you probably don't even realise that VAT's gone up by 7.5% last
Yeah.
week. No one really knows. No one
Which is effectively your profit, you know, like when you're working to such tight margins, overhead staff, blah, blah, blah. That 7.5% is a big fucking deal.
That's it. But I think with this guy, when I see him worth millions very, very quickly, and then, you know, if whatever the staff are on, if they're on it, I would call him out on that. You know, if I knew he was making loads of money of the benefit of others,
Yes.
then I would. But in being in the area it is, I'm kind of like,
So the restaurant manager came over, and obviously we were filming. And this is kind of funny. We just turned up. Obviously Jess was like, "We're going to tell them we're filming," because I wanted to fucking hell. We're going to load out on our. Wasn't paid for, wasn't gifted. We paid.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go. Let's walk away from this with digital assets. I need pictures, videos, content from inside the restaurant. We didn't know how to play it, because if you turn up and just say, "Hey guys, I'm going to film today. Is that okay?" and they say no, you're completely out of it.
Yeah.
I said I'd rather turn up. I was mic'd up, and we just sat down. Obviously, Callum had his camera in his particularly long lens, and we just went for it. And it was kind of, they come over and said, are you filming like YouTube? And I was like, fucking, here we go. I was like, yeah, we are. And they said, yeah, no problem. They boom, straight away. And he actually took me over to the meat counter, and they said, yeah, go on, let's have a look.
Wow.
Explained the meat, explained the cuts, and
where does his meat come from? Do you remember?
it's Australian Wagyu.
Wow.
So that's what they told us anyway.
Everything's Australian Wagyu.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
The experience had an element of drama and theatre to it. You know, like when he comes over and does it at your table, it's very intense.
Is there, because he's there for a bit, but when he's not going to stay there forever?
No.
Do they get lookalikes of him?
No, I think so. We had I'll explain this. So we had the baklava, and it was like his deputy came in.
Amazing.
So wasn't it true?
Was he
Jess?
wearing the glasses?
No,
as well?
he wasn't. But he had a big tash. He did have an element of razzmatazz about himself, and he chopped up my.
Pistachios down his arm. Like that.
He chopped up. It's in the video. He chopped up my baklava, and I don't think I've ever had a more molested piece of food in my entire life.
Wow.
It's like I don't play with the food that much. It was crazy, but my overall conclusion was it was cool that he was there. But if he wasn't there, I think it would have been a very different story.
Yeah.
My steak was £385. You know, that's a little bit lumpy, but fair enough for a Knightsbridge.
£380.
Yes.
What was the weight of it?
It was a
Do
tomahawk.
some maths whilst we're here.
It was a tomahawk.
Tomahawk,
It was a Salt Bae special tomahawk.
A kilo?
Probably under that. Yeah, under that, probably.
100 grams.
It was for one person,
It
wasn't
was
it?
big. Maybe let's just say a
380
kilo.
pounds.
Say a kilo. I don't know. But the rest of it, Tom, was fairly underwhelming.
Wow.
The sides turned up, and because you're waiting for him to cut the steak, it kind of went a bit cold. You know, Callum, our videographer, shout out Pug Shoots behind the lens today. He had some spinach, so that was cold. The mash felt like the sort of mash you would get out of a packet. I'm not sure it's saying it is or it isn't, but it comes in a sort of like looky-likey skillet, which is cold, not hot, which made the food instantly went cold, and it was like, yes, it was good, but not £1,000 lunch good.
No.
Do
Well,
you understand me? It was like the steak was outstanding, loved it, but it was definitely a bit of a like, I'm not quite sure about this. And obviously, London is full of incredible restaurants to go for lunch. Would I go back? No, but I'm glad I did it to tick it off. And now I've got an informed opinion about it because I was very negative about it all.
I'm the same. I'm on the fence.
People said to me,
"Oh,
I can't believe you've gone there because after what you've been saying, all stuff." And I said, listen, it was it's in the news. It's my job to go there. Really, I want to cover this stuff. I want to form my own opinion on it.
What were the toilets like?
I didn't go to the toilet.
They were gold.
They were gold, wrapped in gold.
Hang on, Callum. What do you
Toilet
think?
paper, gold.
What toilets?
Callum kicked off about the toilets.
Did you?
Yeah.
So what?
What,
let
did
me
you
just
say
break
it was
that
a
down.
shit wipe.
Standard shit toilet where everything
Just-
was gold.
He said everything
Oh,
in the toilet was
wow.
gold, but they didn't go for. So what you're saying is that
Wasn't
the actual
gold, was it?
Wasn't
toilet
gold toilet.
was white, standard white
They
toilet.
had-
there you go. Didn't,
Right,
they did. They
like
have not.
school toilets. School toilets.
Yeah.
Do you remember them? Do you used to do the mungies on the wall? Do you remember doing
Oh,
that?
no.
Do you never did that at school?
No, what was that?
Do you know, we used to get. Did you do that? Where you guys used to get. No one's that. I bet you.
Everyone's shaking their head at
Someone's
the
that
time.
used to get the paper right, and used to mush it up so it was all wet, and then you used to throw it on the ceiling.
Yeah.
You do that? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do in his restaurant.
Yeah.
If he charges me £1,000, but I think I just did some maths on it actually. So, average Wagyu prices. I've used Wagyu. I actually use ex-dairy in my restaurant. I use Belted Galloways, use Dexter's. But like Sussex Wagyu, you can get Sussex Wagyu crosses, which are in this country. I really believe that chefs and restaurateurs should be using British beef. Rather than using stuff for all over the country, A, because the air miles on it, and B, we got to support our farmers. But the maximum price I would pay for a ribeye for Wagyu, like Wagyu cross, be about £40. £40 max.
Is that to you?
To me as a chef, yeah, that'd be the most. Usually, I'm paying like about £26 a kilo on most other ribeyes. And the way you do the maths on it is you times by 5. Okay, so he's literally looking at about £76 a kilo for his ribeye, and then times that by 5, which is £380 if it was a kilo steak. I can guarantee he's not paying £76 a kilo.
Yeah.
Right. So he's multiplying that by a factor of 7 to 8, which I personally feel is too expensive. However,
He's in Knightsbridge.
he's in Knightsbridge and whatever. So you've got to ask yourselves these questions. And he has that. And if it was a brand new restaurant that had never existed, would he be able to get away with that price? Probably not, because he's a global superstar on Instagram and
Exactly.
whatnot. You can get away with anything.
It was kind of.
It's a bit like Supreme. Will you wear Supreme?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wear Supreme. All it is a T-shirt with that name on it.
Yeah,
£200
yeah.
T-shirt. It's that sort
Who's
of nonsense.
people are really attacking him, but maybe rightly so. I'm not defending him, but who's the mug? It's him or everyone that wants to go there. You know, I've wanted to go, and I must admit it was kind of cool seeing him chopping our steak up. If he wasn't there though, would the experience been 10%
Imagine if
of
it was
it?
a video with a robot.
Yeah,
just
like-
a video on
Yeah.
the screen and goes,
like-
I'm the Salt Bae. and
When that robotic cobra comes
then
up.
the
and,
Ribbonator comes out and just crushes him.
yeah, that's a movie.
That's a movie.
That is.
Ribbonator versus Salt Bae. Oh, that's just going to be. That's a film. And I should do a collab with him. Could you imagine it? That'd be good. If
How would that
you're
go
watching, get in touch. We'll make stuff happen.
If you're watching Salt Bae,
Yeah. I bet he
Look,
doesn't watch
I
anything.
think we've launched the podcast. Has gone to like number 29 in the arts or something like. I don't think he's watching this just yet, but maybe by episode like 200, he might have to scroll back and I'll say, "Hi, nice to see
Could
you."
you imagine him on
Could
Big
you go and
Brother?
watch episode number 3?
I'd love to see him on Big Brother or like Love Island.
Love
I'd
Island.
love it. I'd love it to see him on there. Be the best. Also, I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here. Imagine him on that. Best. I've never seen him talk. Actually,
I was just going to say, I think one of us actually spoke to him.
I tried to engage conversation.
I don't think he speaks much English.
Yeah, well, he's Turkish, isn't he? I think he's English. From what I've heard, his English is okay.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
is it?
Yeah, he's basically just a Charlie Chaplin of meat.
Yeah.
Just doesn't say anything.
I think he started as a butcher, and I think he's done well for himself.
His knife skills are pretty good. I'm just not into that blue knife.
From what,
That blue plastic.
from what I've heard, though, he's like a small percentage shareholder, basically the face of the business.
Right,
Obviously, it's his name, yes.
Oh.
And he's backed by some big billionaires in Turkey that bankrolled the entire thing. From what I've heard, yes, they've gone to New York, Miami.
Mm-hmm.
They're everywhere. There's like one in Dubai.
Dubai, Abu Dhabi. He's opened up in London now. He's bankrolled by some billionaires, some Turkish billionaires. I think really big timers. Yeah,
Has he got a book out?
Not sure.
Let's have a look.
Not sure.
But it is mental.
How to Sprinkle Salt by Nusret.
Yeah, it's. But he does. I think
It was an interesting topic of debate. Like.
No, he hasn't got a book out. No book. He has just done. No, who is Salt Bae? Kindle edition. That's it. Nothing. There's nothing here. Just loads of pictures of him. Loads.
We
But
were
you can
glad-
get a calendar.
Yeah.
Get a calendar of him.
There was everyone. So when he came over to everyone's table, all everyone did, no one looked at him. They just put it on their phone. It was like something to be like.
Yeah, it's.
That's what it is. That's why people go in.
Instagram generation of where is it Instagrammable? And
I had pictures.
Yeah.
We took pictures. It's kind of I don't know. It's kind of was cool, to be fair.
Literally every table, as soon as they came over, quick, get your phones out, record it.
Yeah. What's the most Instagrammable thing you've taken a picture of? I don't know.
I don't know.
We did. Oh, that sandwich. They're really Instagrammable, aren't they?
Yeah, have you seen them?
Who?
It's a sandwich shop in Bristol.
Okay.
Incredible.
Is it really good? I'm going to Bristol soon, so.
Yeah.
Oh, please stop there. Please.
Bristol. I'll go down and.
It's the best sandwich I've ever been to in my life.
Yeah, it's the best sandwich. Have
it's
you been to
incredible.
Dom Subs?
Oh yeah, we have. They're
incredible. Yeah, very good.
similar.
So sandwich is like Dom Subs, but better.
Okay, amazing. And are you going to be going away abroad at any point?
Yeah, we'd love to.
To a New York trip
That's-
or something?
No, yes, that was my first idea, but I think for the first one we're going to go. I'd like to go to Buffalo, New York, and work my way down to New York, sort of snaking down the East Coast.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, look at that.
Snaking down the East Coast, maybe getting into the deep South, some barbecue. Maybe,
Wow, you're massive
Atlanta.
tour
I think it's a 10-day trip and end up in Miami.
Wow, okay.
Rent a car.
I'm coming.
Us three together. You do
Four.
Do a collab. Four. Have
but
we got space in the car for their lenses?
Yeah.
It's very difficult, guys. There's a lot of things you don't understand about kind of way of
Definitely.
when you have two videographers. A lot of lens talk, a lot of like looking at each other from across the room.
Exactly.
You know, like
Too much.
Like they get the extenders out,
Stop.
changing their shutter speed. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, we can't. Well, I think it'd be amazing to see you go on tour. And
Do you think that the overseas reviews would work?
Definitely.
I think they would.
I think they'd work, and I think it'd be good for. Not that everyone's going to be like as soon as you've done. Well, it'd be amazing if everyone watched your review and goes straight away booking a ticket. We've got to go there. That'd be so amazing to see.
No, we're trying to evolve the page, Tom, into being people like. Last week we had some loads of great feedback about the podcast. Obviously, it did come out on the day that Facebook decided to fucking explode.
Oh my
so
God,
the views weren't great, but people reacted really positively to it. But a few people were like, "Oh, what are you doing? This guy's got
Stick to your food reviews.
stick to your come on." When I started food
really?
reviews, people said Tom would just stop. So we're not going to do that, but. We're trying to create a food channel audience where you can come to hear, see, and feel great food content. And that's all it's about. I think anyone that watches my reviews probably only doesn't want to see me blathering on. They just want to see great food.
Yeah, I think essentially that's what it is. I think it's really, really important for you.
How much food can you really eat?
Yeah, and this was what you're doing is you're doing a positive thing. You're letting people see what's out there, the hidden gems, making people aware of what to eat, what's good to eat, the affordability of it, and just having a bit of fun.
Yeah, well, that's lovely to say, Tom. Thank you. It's funny because it has evolved into a business for us now, but essentially behind it all is still the love for doing it. And I love not performing, that's a strong word, but being on camera.
Yeah.
I like doing my thing.
Yeah,
it actually makes me feel alive when I'm doing it, Tommy. I absolutely love it. If I'm feeling down or a bit lost if we have a few days outside reviewing. I want to say, Jess, go on, let's go out and do reviewing. Really picks
That's
up the
lovely
spirits.
to know. There's a couple as well.
It's electric, you know, when we go out and do it.
It's a nice dynamic. Although Jess does get all the cold food, I've got to say, like, bless her.
Yeah, I know.
I was watching the other one about the lobster the other day.
Oh my God, yeah.
poor
Don't
thing,
get me
honestly,
started.
that-
Dave from THC Radio. So we went pretty.
His
Jess,
speech.
obviously, well, look, I'm going to say it now. Jess went in pretty hard. Tom,
did.
she really went for him.
Dear.
And I think someone tagged Dave from THC Radio.
We haven't
in the clip.
had a comment from Dave yet, have we?
Dave's
Dave,
gone,
comment now.
Dave's gone AWOL. Dave, if you're listening from THC Radio, we would like to apologise. I'm going to say that on behalf of Jess.
Yeah.
She
I'm
didn't mean
sorry,
it about the
Dave.
lobster. If you could get in contact, let us know you're all right. Let us know you're doing well. Say again. Do you have his number?
Oh my God.
Should we phone him now?
Phone-
Oh my God, put it on here.
Phone him.
Have you got the clip? Have you got the
Phone him now.
This works. You can
One
get them
second.
through like radio.
1 second. We can actually get Dave on it now. What adapter do I need?
What button?
I need an aux lead. Have you got an aux lead that goes into your phone?
Who carries an aux
Right, let's
lead
get
these
one.
days?
Next, I want to do it with.
I think you can do it on loudspeaker like that. That's the old way of doing it, isn't it? That would work.
Go on then. Let's get him on.
James
Oh
not
my
an audio
God.
technician.
Get someone.
Are you serious?
Put him on loudspeaker.
He's going to be live on air, and it's going to be
Yeah, he
radio on a
will.
podcast. It's going to be like
He could
Inception.
swear.
Doing layers.
Jess, are you going to speak to him?
I don't know. He might not have even seen
Here we
it.
go. Is it ringing? Dave, THC Radio. Cool. How to do, lads? Here we go. Speaker.
Bloody
Here we go.
Android.
Guys, it's ringing. It's ringing.
Oh.
Here we go.
Listen, here we go.
Hello.
Hello, Dave.
Yeah, what's going on, bro?
Dave, it's Matt from Food Review Club.
Yeah, no, what are you saying? You good?
How's it going?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Dave, you're actually live on the podcast right now.
No, what's going on?
Are you good?
Jokes.
Um,
Jokes.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
So Jess wants to say something to you. Go on, Jess.
Dave, did you watch the have you watched any of the podcasts?
I ain't seen the first podcast. No, I need to check it out, man. I've been
Okay.
in Amsterdam. Right?
No, that's all right. I went in pretty hard on you,
She
Dave.
said you ate all. She said you ate all of her lobster.
Good. It's all good. I was tired and walking around on my thing.
Do you accept the apology, Dave?
Yeah, of course, man.
Oh, that's
God
lovely.
bless Dave. Anyway, look, stay in
Thank
touch,
you.
mate. And look, you're a big feature on the page now. So
Yeah? Oh, bless, man.
Keep stealing
No,
lobsters.
Good to know. Must have been up against me, then, isn't it?
we'll link up soon, mate.
Yeah? All right.
Cheers,
take care,
bro.
man.
Bye bye.
Bye.
I don't know how to turn these gizmos off.
That is
There we
weird,
go.
isn't
How's
it?
that? How's that, Jess?
That was I can't believe you just
He was very nice to you. I don't think he
threw
has seen you going in on him though. That was
No. I nearly actually ad-libbed like you can buy lunch.
Wow. Went for it. Wow. That's
Yeah.
it. I like. See, I like sharing food. I got to say, I'm a bit of a sharer. I like going to
Yeah.
a restaurant and go, we get a bit of that.
yeah.
We get a bit of that. We get a bit of having a share. When I go, and I'll tell you something now. I went out to a dinner a few years ago, and it was like 10 of us, and it came to the split in the bill.
Oh God.
Now, the way I've been brought up by my old man, he just goes, cut it down the middle. Doesn't matter what we've had. If you've had 2 beers, we've had 3 beers, or that person had a cocktail,
Yeah.
just split it down the middle. That's a very honourable thing to do. You just split it down the middle. Now,
Because it's not about what you've had; it's about sharing the experience with people.
Exactly.
Let's split it.
Exactly. Now, when we got all the food and we get a bit of this, and because it was a curry house, and we got a bit of that, we're sharing that, whatever. This one guy just goes, I like my biryani and I like my boona, and that's all he wanted.
Is that how he said it?
And I looked at him and I knew what was coming.
Yeah.
I knew at that moment when he just went, I want that, and I just want a small Cobra beer, and that's all he had. I knew this guy was going to be an absolute nightmare when it came to the bill. Now, when the bill came, finally. All there, all getting our cash out or cards out, whatever, just chuck it in the middle. This guy gets his phone out, right, and goes, oh, it's dead, right? At that point, he goes into his bag and pulls out his iPad and gets the calculator out, right? I was like, let's just start a spreadsheet, mate, and see what you're doing. And this guy literally worked out exactly what he had and goes, that's all I'm paying. I said, you have fucked it for everyone because now we've got to pay a little bit different or whatever, because we all knew what we were doing at that point, and people like that are the worst people alive.
What would the difference be? He must have paid.
Maybe I think there was like £4 in it.
No.
But I've had people message me that I've let me like £1 or something, or at the bar or whatever, and go, Can you give me that £1.10 back? I've had that. I've had. What is going? What?
Even when I've
that is a
had
pet hate of
no
mine.
money in this life, I've never been like that. I'm pretty generous.
Yeah, me too. It's just
come
silly.
on, man.
But there's nothing wrong with. Don't get me wrong. There's always you got to be careful. You know, don't let people mug you off or anything. But people when you know when you go to the bill and they go, I'll pay my bit.
I think if you're at a curry house, what can really go wrong? I think if you go to a restaurant and someone's ordering Dom P and the steaks and
Nusret or Nusret.
what do you call it?
I can't say it.
Nusret.
Nusret. You get the golden tomahawk.
Yeah, like,
people
so
are like, let's split it.
You
let's
guys will
split
go
it.
burger. Gold tomahawk, 1,500 quid. Like, right, guys, we're going to split the bill.
Yeah, that's different. That's different.
That's what I'm saying. Though, at a curry house, you're fairly safe.
Yeah, everyone's
£4 or £5
plus
swing.
I was sharing. He even had a bit of my bloody poppadom.
No, he didn't.
He did. I saw him take my poppadom, and I was like, bruv, listen.
You can take 50p off that list.
Yeah, so I was like, I know they're free because poppadom. I know they're free. The fact that you're having my poppadoms, just are poppadoms free? I don't know.
I don't think they are, you know.
No,
Nah, you have to pay for them.
Do you?
I ordered an Indian the other day, like 50p
Do I have to pay for the after eight
each.
though? Do you? After eight, get them. That's the only. They're the only places where you get the after eight.
I'd like to
Why?
ask you what you're on your own, like in your house, whatever.
Oh, Jess,
What do you-
where's this going? Where's this going here?
The lights are low.
Hey,
That's
No,
like,
what do you
Fucking hell.
get from
I feel like I'm third wheeling.
Chinese?
what to get from a Chinese?
Yes.
Crispy beef.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, crispy beef. Mushroom fried rice.
Oh, nice,
Right.
nice,
I like
nice
a
little difference.
I like a mushroom
Cultural,
fried rice.
very flamboyant.
Szechuan prawns.
Oh.
It's like a Szechuan prawn mix, mega. I do like duck. Gotta say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
And
a good.
I love-
It's a good. Do you have your duck before your mains, or just all
no,
in together?
I just whatever. Like I just all one big.
Have you seen the guys that have the duck? They put the duck on the fork, dunk it in the hoisin or the plum sauce, and they put the pancake to their mouth, and fork.
Oh yeah, I've
fork
seen
it
that.
straight through into the chops.
That's erotic.
Yeah, yes, it was. They fork the meat into the pancake, which goes into the mouth. Bite down, pull out, munch.
Jesus.
Try it. You
That
did
should
try
be
it
on
once.
certain
tried it. It was
websites,
good.
shouldn't it?
Yeah.
That's- oof. I do. I have, and one of the other things is I really like my brain's gone blank.
Prawn crackers.
No, dim sum. I'm obsessed with dim sum.
Yeah,
Dim sum is we do Balzin's kit here at Restaurant Kits, and the dumplings are just. I could just eat them. It's a bit like I don't know. It's a bit like popcorn. You just keep going.
Yeah, just like
and you just don't get full. It's just you go. I'm gonna have
yeah.
another box of that. It's what do you have at the cinema? Actually, I've got a story to tell you. Another one.
Go on.
So recently, I went to watch Bond. Right.
Well,
The new one. The new
Bond
one.
who?
James Bond.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, thanks.
James Bond. Only is it called An Only Way to Die?
Something like that.
No, that's it.
A
new way. No, it's not. What's it called?
A New Time to Die.
Men in Black Men.
No Time to Die. That's it. No Time
Oh,
to
we're
Die.
nearly there.
So I went and watched the new James Bond film, right? And I was at the front of the because that's all the seats you could get. And who the hell, right? We won't go into the finger banging which went on during that.
Shush.
But yes,
No.
that happened. But what I will say, who gets nachos
finger banging.
and hot dogs?
No, that's rubbish.
Oh, no.
Who does that? Like, get sweets, get popcorn, have a nice drink. I don't know. Like, I don't agree with having popcorn and sweets together. I like chocolate and popcorn. That's kind of
That's my thing. Yeah.
I'm into that.
Minstrels.
Yeah, all into that. But I think
Minstrels.
like. I don't
Minstrels.
know, wine gums and popcorn. You're mental. But someone having nachos, hot dogs.
Why
What-
would you get that in a cinema? Why would you not want to eat?
Also,
Dunno.
I
They
don't
charge you an
like-
arm and a leg
Don't
as well.
trust them.
There's
Don't
only
trust it.
there's only a
They don't have a
few
kitchen.
there's only a few dishes that I would eat in the dark. Popcorn is one of them. You're fairly safe.
Yeah.
Your hand goes in. You know what you're pulling out.
Yeah.
I
What's the other thing?
like to see what I'm eating.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse going into a dark restaurant. How could you can you eat nachos
in the dark.
in the dark?
You don't know what you're
have to
digging
wait
for
an ex-
either. I bet when
Do
you get up later,
don't.
so enough popcorn just kind of gets off your
Yeah, yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Like
But
cheese
that it's just
sauce.
got you've got cheese sauce, you've got guacamole down here, you got like hot dog juice, mustard. It'd just be a mess.
Bit bread.
And obviously the other no. We're going
Yes.
to that.
Cheers.
It was just they were repulsive. I was just like, you just Stop it.
Do you
make
sweet
me
or
sick.
salted popcorn?
Bit mix.
Yeah, it's got to go.
I like the mix.
Sweet,
I like
salted,
the mix.
sweet,
No,
salted, sweet.
Yeah, I like the mix. But I've got to say, I haven't got the bestest teeth. And you guys got lovely teeth.
Thanks.
But I don't. They're all right. But I've lost a few. I've lost two teeth in my life. I'm a bit sensitive, and there's nothing worse than that little Kenrule. What's it called? Kenrule. Colonel Kenrule.
Absolute toothbreaker, isn't it?
Nothing. You get it, and you're munching away because you're so excited because of the trailers. Oh, I'm like this, and then all of a sudden, you go, and literally your whole night is ruined.
It inserts itself into the gum.
Oh, it
Up
is
the gum, into the tooth.
It is the worst.
Yeah.
That or what
Teeth smashing all over the place.
And when you're eating chicken wings and you get the little, or you get like half chicken and stuff, and you get the little bone every now and then. I love meat on the bone. I like fish on the bone. I don't mind bones and stuff. But when I don't
You're talking about
know,
it's a surprise object.
yeah, I think it's safe. I think I'm safe, and then I bite on it, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to go to the dentist. It's nothing worse. I'm biting your tongue. I do that a lot when I'm excited.
Probably one of the worst things ever is it's not happened a lot. If you bite a finger.
What?
Have you
I've
ever,
not done that.
You know, you're having chips. You're having chips.
How
You're
hungry are you?
particularly hungry. You're very hungry. You are.
He hasn't even ordered anything to go. Oh, fuck it, I'll eat this today.
And sort of a stray finger may, get into Nasher range.
I don't think I've ever done that.
I have a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my god! That's why I said to you, mind your fingers.
Is that coming from past experience?
What you do? The thing is, it's like you know, like
Mind your fingers.
Unless you're putting your hand
No,
into
you
the
get
burger,
like
it's a slice of cheese.
No, I've done it a few times. None of that is worse. It's much worse than tongue.
Is it?
It's much worse than
don't
tongue.
have-
Yeah.
Do
No,
you
the
not
worst
have
thing
any,
is
like,
treading on a plug. That is the worst
Oh.
thing in the world. Treading on a plug.
Yeah.
Or Lego.
Lego, well, yeah. Treading on Lego or just stubbing your toe. I did it the other day. My little toe, I was walking around the bed and the little toe caught it. And I just...
Absolute right angles.
Yeah.
See you later.
And the words
I'm going this way, you're going that way.
Like this, and you just fall apart. It's the worst. Accidents in the kitchen, though. Burns are pretty bad. I actually got. I won't show the camera, but I've got.
He's pointing at his nipple, by the way.
I've got a pretty bad burn down the side of me. Yeah, it's
what
fine now.
happened?
I took pork stock out the oven, doing the Ribbonator, doing the braise overnight, and I thought it was potatoes. I thought they were potatoes because they had a lid on, and they said potatoes are in there. It wasn't. It was actually the pork stock. So I lifted it quite forcefully. And it all stock went down the side of me, and I got some pretty bad burns.
Genuine burns, like
Genuine, proper burns. And yeah, I think accidents in the kitchen. You get burns, cuts. One of the best ones is the mandolin.
Oh no, don't play.
I've taken all the tops off at once. Done that.
Did you pick them out? And I feel like I'm going to faint.
He doesn't deal with blood very
you
well.
Don't deal with
No,
blood.
no, no, no,
Okay,
that stuff.
fine. We won't. Moving on. Be careful in the kitchen, kids.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's.
I think what is it with all chefs have like asbestos hands as well? Like
Yeah, do you have,
we've
do you
got,
have that?
What do you have? What?
What are you trying to? What are you?
Like where you
You're
could just
like-
pick up a pan.
Oh yeah. Well, what we don't have, right, is we have the tips. It's a bit like a guitarist. So I play. You're right there, mate.
Yeah, just undo my belt.
We have the Ribbonator's finally got caught up with him. And playing. Like, I play guitar. Right, I write music in my spare time and stuff like that, and I play guitar and play bass. And you build up calluses. It's a bit like a drummer builds up calluses on this part of their hands. And drumming. So you get the same on the end of your fingertips as a guitarist. And it's the same as cooking. The more you touch like hot stuff, you actually build up a resistance on it, and it's just hard skin. And the same as a knife. When you're using a knife all the time, you get this little. I've got this little thing here, which is like a callus on that bit because where the knife rests.
Yeah.
And then one in the middle of the hands. But yeah, you do get asbestos hands. One of the main things is smoke. Understand? Because I cook on fire. So I've really now, if smoke blows in my face and stuff, I just don't cough anymore. It's just like, but I dread to think if someone did an autopsy on me, what they'd find.
Well, just talking about that. So obviously we sort of met for the first time at Meatopia.
Yes.
That was our first time at the event. I remember walking into the event and there's this kind of an open bit above, and I looked up at this, and it was actually it looked like it was snowing ash. I was like, whoa, here we go. Like I didn't really know what I was walking into, but we actually left that event like we felt like we smelled like we've been in the barbecue.
Yeah, it's mad.
Very
it doesn't come out
strong.
It doesn't
strong.
come out you for it. Then I think, and I said this to you guys earlier.
Like in your hair, your clothes.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's weird. When I first started cooking, I worked in a cafe when I was about 14 years old, washing up, and I'd come home and I would be in the shower and I'd have a shower and whatever, and then go to bed and I could still smell the kitchen. Those days are I don't really notice it anymore, and I don't think I stink.
I haven't noticed
of the kitchen, but it does. Those things, they don't leave you. You kind of, and also your fingernails get like you have to scrub them properly and all those bits and bobs. So yeah, there's the joys of the kitchen, I guess, to a degree of those bits. But I do bloody love my industry, and there's plenty of stuff I'm working on at the minute to do, get involved with things, and I love it.
So you briefly touched on it now. I've got a question for you. What keeps you busy outside of food, outside of work? I mean, you talked about your musical exploits there. Tell us about what you get up to outside of business.
Before I was in food, I was in the music industry, so I did music PR and bits and bobs. And to this day, like, I go to gigs. I went to Slam Dunk a few weeks ago. It was punk rock. Really fun. Got COVID from it.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
great,
fully,
fantastic,
like full on
awesome.
COVID. Awful.
Oh really?
Yeah, awful.
You got the good one.
The proper one. So got COVID. That's like go to music, hang out, see my mum, and that's like I think a lot of it is just spend time with family, do some music. But I work a lot, and it's. I think in this industry it's so tough to not have a great balance because you're open 7 days a week, constantly got this going on, that
There's
going on.
There's a lot of chat about work-life balance at the moment. I think I'm leaning towards the fact it's actually bullshit. That whole sentence, work-life balance. Work is this in this day and age. Work is your life.
Exactly, and it's about
if you're enjoying what you're doing.
You're not working.
You're not working
right?
anyway, and there's no need for a balance.
I think it's making time for others. I think. Making time for,
that's just
family,
life, though,
kids, and things like that. That's just having a good balance of what's important. But if you can involve that into things and be part of it, then it's great. Like my daughter will come, she'll help out with flank. She's done a few recipe boxes. We did one with her. We did a little one for her birthday. It was really fun. We did a little. It was her kind of recipe that we do a curry together. It was her recipe, and we sent her a box, and she could make it at home. So we did doing things
cool.
and getting people involved is really, really important. And I think we don't separate everyone out and don't alienate people. Like if you are finding it hard to balance in, well, get them involved. I'm a big advocate for mental health, and like I've got an event that I'm planning at the minute at the Ned, which is going to be all industry only. And instead of it being like an award show, it's nothing like that. It's literally raising awareness in mental health and having an amazing party and showing people that there is a place to go to, which is the Burnt Chef Project, to get people, if they are having a tough time and struggling, whatever, they've got people to talk to.
What is the Burnt Chef Project?
So the Burnt Chef Project is a non-profit organisation, literally helping chefs with, or chefs or front of house or managers, pot washers, you name it, anyone in the hospitality industry that is struggling with anything.
It's such a savage industry, though, isn't it? Like
it's so savage. It's brutal. And
the hours, the intensity of service.
Intensity, there's bullying, toxic masculinity, the balance between female to male ratio is incredibly off. You're looking at like 90%, 95% male industry, which is terrible, to be honest, because women in the industry, like I've had women in the kitchen, and it is the bestest thing in the world. They are highly organised, efficient, know their shit. Just there's a great balance to have in the kitchen. And in Restaurant Kits, we've got a lot of females working, and it's great to have them. And it's something I really push for, but it's difficult, because there are absolute wrong-uns, and it's not about just kind of like I just don't want to just blacklist and sort of like I want to retrain people's minds. I want people to look at what they're doing and understand that they need to change and how do they change and retrain their mind, because they're the places that some of these people have worked in. it's not just their fault. It's the way they've been taught, and they think, and it's showing that that's acceptable and that behaviour, and working all these crazy hours or getting involved in addiction and drugs and alcohol, showing that's acceptable. It's not. We need to start retrain these people and show them there is support and we can help with changing that industry.
Did you see the Gordon Ramsay episode when he did the blue?
Oh yeah, went in. I've never had cocaine in my restaurant. Shut up.
Yeah, and he wiped the staff toilets with city cakes in it. And
yeah.
Really?
Did you not see that?
Like he didn't know. Like I can guarantee every single restaurant in London knows that there's been cocaine through their doors.
Yeah,
I'm not hiding from that at all. Like
it was actually quite a funny thing in it. Sorry to interrupt. We said that one of the people who came to the restaurant actually asked for a small plate and took it to the toilet.
Oh no way!
No, they said the
God.
guys at the table actually called for a small plate and the guy put it in his pocket and went to the toilet so he could rack them up for everyone.
Oh my God! See that's and it's a common thing. Like
but out of all the industries though, sorry to interrupt again, twice in a row. Sorry, Tom. Chefing is so intense. That is that numbing, addictive. That I can see why.
Well,
people want a little escape after these crazy days.
They want. It's the hours they do. You know, I was clocking 80, 90 hours a week,
Jesus.
and I was highly addicted to all kinds of stuff a couple of years ago.
Just like to get you through, just to
I was drinking loads. I was doing bits and bobs, and the thing is, it drove me crazy. And 2 years ago, I attempted suicide.
Oh wow, sorry to hear that.
It's all right.
Jesus,
it's I'm on the other side, and I think these pressures we face are incredibly hard, and it's about having a support network behind us to understand we do have people to go to, and we don't have to, because I think the problem is with it is that we support each other in the worst ways by doing these things and have a great time, whatever. But when things are really low, and I put this down to one thing only, I declare a good friend, a really good friend to have, and someone class as a friend, is when they can come around your house and have a cup of tea. And if you can't do that, and it's only when you go out, and only when you're down the pub, or only when you're having a couple of beers after work, if those are the people that you can only do that with, they're not a friend. If they can come around,
acquaintance.
If they can come around at 10 o'clock in the morning and have a cup of tea with you, then they're a friend for life. They need to be by your side. And I have a few of those in my life, and I love them. And the other people, don't get me wrong, they're all right, but they only associate you when there's a certain time, and there's nothing wrong with that to a degree. But in our industry, we need to sort of really start working on making it better, because this industry will die.
If there's anyone watching that's resonated with, where can they go to Burnt Chef?
The Burnt Chef Project,
Project.
www.burntchefproject.com, and just hit there, or drop me a DM if you're having any problems, and I'll point you in the right direction. I literally open my arms up to anyone that's having any problems, and we'll help them out.
We get that a lot in our DMs.
Yeah,
people looking for guidance and advice. We were fairly open about a few things a year ago, and it's nice to be able to help people in a positive way,
100%,
above and beyond just putting out silly videos.
Yeah, there's always darkness on any light, I guess, and it's about making sure we've got people's backs.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you are, what the problem is, just give us a shout.
Yeah,
cool. Amazing. Well, is there any more questions for us? I want to see. He had a massive list.
I've got a big list, but it's funny. We've put, you go where the conversation takes you, but we've got a few.
It's not like Sunday service at the church, but
this is a good one.
Do you remember going to church? That's so fun.
Never.
I went to Sunday school, and I used to be terrified of it.
Really?
Yeah, just because I just knew it wasn't real. But there used to really like. We had to do things, not like that, but it was just a bit much. And then that bread at the end, it was only a little bit.
Yeah.
What a waste.
Well, this is a one interesting one for you. Someone who butchers nose to tail, particularly in London, which is a bit of a boiling pot for current trending topics, and that's veganism. Big round here. Like, how do you feel about? Do you feel like you've got to adapt and change your menu to suit anyone coming, or are you going to firmly put your flag in the sand as this is who we are, this is what we do? If you don't like it, that's fine. What's your stance on it? Because I know it's massive.
Oh, this is
look, it's massive worldwide, but I'm saying particularly in London, there's a boiling pot for this type of issue.
Well, I think ultimately one of the biggest things, and it's something I've always said, is it's not about what we eat, It's about how we eat. Now, if we were all to be vegan tomorrow, okay, if we all decided we were going to go vegan tomorrow, we would still destroy the planet, okay? And us carrying on meat, it's about what we're eating, okay? That's the thing. That's the problem we're doing. And we need to think about how we eat these products. And so take an example of Flank as an example, right? Being a meat restaurant. In my first year, okay, of doing Flank, we decided to use whole animals. Now, most restaurants use between 20 and 30,000 animals a year of contribution because they only pick ribeyes and sirloins and rumps, right? Therefore, you're contributing to that amount of animals, right? Because you're just using those cuts. In my first year of Flank, only using everything, we used between 10 and 12 animals. That was it. Okay.
Wow.
If we were to do that, we'd reduce meat consumption by 90% in our first year. That could be done across the globe. Now, no one will go into Sainsbury's and go, oh, they've not got anything. They've only got this left. You know, imagine if we did work to that cycle. It's the same with vegetables. We shouldn't be able to get millions of avocados to our disposal. We need to think about
Which have come from Mexico.
Yeah. We need to start thinking about the seasons more and thinking about. And I think it's about balance. I am all up for veganism, and I think plant-based diets are really important to people's health. I do think I don't see anything. Morally speaking, of course, I get attached to, like, I see an animal and I'm like, yeah, that's like. But I'm also like, you know, my moral compass goes a bit, kind of ignores that, and I can move forward. Some people can't, and I respect that. But in terms of the balance, I think we can. I think as a global kind of society, we need to think about how we're eating meat and how we're doing it, rather than just keep buying and all we're doing is just wasting. We're just creating these factory farms and all this crazy stuff. Ultimately, the animal still gets killed, but we don't actually need to use as much. And reducing that means our carbon emissions a lot less, and we'll save the planet a little bit better. But yes. In a nutshell, I fully support veganism. We do vegan products on our menus. I would love to open a vegan barbecue restaurant one day. It'd be amazing to do a plant-based.
We've had some wicked plant-based meals.
Oh, it's the best. I love it.
It's really clean, really nice. But at the same time, I'm a big meat eater, and the narrative which I hate, not from vegans are lovely people, obviously. They just got their own views and opinions, but with the mainstream stuff, we love it. Is the vilification of anyone that eats meat. You know, like you're some kind of monster. And I don't believe that to be true. You know, this world can be quite a toxic place. You're either this side or that side. There's nowhere in the middle. I can't like you because you're one of this type of person. Or it's very black and white, isn't it? I don't think the conversation is that simple. You've actually raised a wicked point there. And I think people are interested.
Yeah, I think there's a great activist, a guy called Joey Carbstrong.
Yeah, I follow his videos.
Yeah,
good guy.
He's really good guy.
He actually
really
went to an abattoir the other day, didn't he? Did you see the video?
He did, and
she was cool as well. The lady that he was with.
Yeah, like really cool. Interesting, and I think he raises some really good points. He's trying to do this like instantly. The problem with it is that the world won't change instantly. We can't.
It's generational stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, we can't. Like, there are certain communities that they're like, well, you know, the animal gets looked after, and it just won't ever change. And my view is this: baby steps. Just like building, I don't know, Roman road, or building. You look at the pyramids that were built; they took hundreds of years, to happen. And I think even with change in this country, with in politics, they'll have politicians that will run a 4-year term, and then it will change. And unfortunately, the politicians don't go together and go, in the next 30 years, what we're going to try and do is change taxation. And every single politician, we've signed a piece of document and we're going to work towards that. They just change as and when because they just want to be the big I am. What we need to do in this country with how we look at food is look at a long-term solution rather than just being like, tomorrow we're going to all be vegan, because that won't work. We need to look about what we're doing and changing our structure, i.e. like instead of just being able to buy boneless chickens and whatnot, going, all right, all we're doing now is just doing full chickens. We're portioning them out. But once the legs are run out, we're going to be left with the breast. And then once we've sold all that, we'll buy more chickens and butcher them up correctly. But unfortunately, we're not doing that. We're just going mental. And just buying all things because it's the demand. As soon as you stop the supply and understand and educate people, then the demand will stop.
Well, Tom, thank you so much for joining us today. Episode 3. Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, it's been so much fun. Thank you for coming down to eat. I'm really glad you enjoyed it.
We had a great time.
And hanging out with you guys, you're a power couple, absolute power couple.
Thank you very much.
It's lovely seeing a husband and wife team take on what you do, and yeah, keep going, don't stop.
Really, really appreciate your time. Thank you for having us. Thank you for
Yeah.
hosting us.
Yeah,
and thank
yeah.
you for feeding us.
Yeah, it was
Well
great
done.
food.
You had fun, Jess?
I have, yeah. The roast potatoes were a hit.
They were, yeah, good.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the video, it'll be out by now. Go and check out my flank review, and you'll probably understand a little bit more about this guy sat in front of us. So,
Amazing. Thank you
Yeah.
for having
powerhouse, industry knowledge, man around town.
me. That's it.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, guys.
There you
Thanks a
go.
lot.
Thank
See ya.
you.
Cheers. Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye bye.